Good morning, everyone. We're back again to break down today's MLB slate. But before we get into that, we're going to break down yesterday's results. So, sadly, yesterday we missed the line by I think about 10, and our stacks just really didn't pull through that well. Baltimore pretty much failed. Mullins looked fine. He hit a stolen base, he hit 20, but Mountcastle and Santander both dropped basically zero. Ozzy had zero. But Cleveland Mini was fine. Ramirez, Rosario, and then we had Sean Murphy who had 35, which we called on the show that he was a pretty good play, and the Braves just absolutely nuked. Pitching was kind of meh. Uh, we landed on the Mets pitcher, and he gave up a few to the A's, and then got yanked in the fifth. But that game was surprising as a whole. Like for that game to go to what was it, 23 runs. Um, in that ballpark is pretty crazy. I think the Mets might be a little chalky today. I probably won't be there just because of the park, and I think there's better hitting environments. Um, what else? Morton played fine. Cortez was fine, and Steele looked pretty good. But yeah, other than that, we can dive into today's slate. So top stacks for today on Stochastic in this order: Mets, Cleveland, A's, Philly, St. Louis, Tampa, San Fran, Toronto. There's a bunch of teams in play today, I think, just because the pitching is pretty scattered. I mean, when you have like Chad Cool and Kikuchi and Bibek and Ashcraft and just like mid-talented arms, you're gonna have some runs today. And there's some places that have some good weather, so I think where I'm gonna primarily focus is like a Cleveland mini, maybe a three-man. I think that the Angels look good, and the Rays look pretty good too against Kikuchi. They've been so hot, and I think I'm just gonna ride that. The Rays have a 5.3 run total, Cleveland 5.8, and if you go to the simulations on Ballpark Pal, the Rays have a 5.3 as well, and 5.5 for the Angels, and then Cleveland has a 5. So those are probably where I'll target the most. Philly and Cincy looks good. I'm not on Fanduel. That has like the rainy clouds, so I'm not sure if the weather might be bad. I'm gonna have to look more into that. But just checking in with the lineup on Twitter, and we'll see if I can land on any Phillies or Reds because they do actually project pretty well. Obviously, ballpark is the best for home runs on the slate, so definitely gonna have some home run calls from there for sure. Um, pitching, pitching's fairly interesting. So if we go to here, so Seth Lugo looks to be pulling up the most ownership here at about 20% against Milwaukee. And I get it just because the park is not that good. Um, um, and I think that Peralta looks pretty good at 5% ownership in the same matchup. Ashcraft is interesting at minimal ownership, but as we said, the ballpark is pretty advantageous for offense today, so probably skipping out on him, especially at 10K. Pitching is, yeah, like I said, just so meh that I'll probably just focus on stacks and then see where the salaries left and then go from there. I think Bryce Elder at 9.7 is a little steep, even though he's playing Kansas City. He might gain a little ownership. Oh, actually, he's not projecting for all that much. Carlos Carrasco is projecting for like 15 to 20 and 7,500, which I mean he's playing the A's, but he has not looked that great in his first couple starts. 4 innings and 4.5 innings pitched and 4 and 5 earned. So probably won't be on him. Um, and with that, I'll give some home run calls. So my home run calls for today, I like Otani, Paredes, Tyler Stevenson, and Josh Naylor. like all those guys to go yard today. And just make sure to check the lineup on Twitter, as we'll be crafting for like the next hour or so, trying to build that. And then we might drop an NBA lineup as well. Make sure to like and subscribe, and we'll be back here tomorrow.